disclaimer first, okay? Got that bit? Read it slowly and let it sink in. I read this and I'm wandering around thinking, how's this going to work? How's this going to work? How's this going to work, right? Because I do a lot of wondering. Remember you were a kid and you wondered? You know, why is that colour? Why is she wearing those shoes? Why did you wear that yellow jacket today? Did you want to match my t-shirt? Right? We used to wonder and we stopped fucking wondering. Oh, I swear a lot, and if anybody doesn't like it, tough, get used to it, that's me. One of the things that went through my head was, what if? I read that quote and I thought, what if we learned to play with technology, right? As if we were on the same team. Now, I'm not going to give you a spiel about what I do and what I know. All you need to know is I'm like a rainbow and I just pick out the colour I need to use at the time, okay? So, that's what started playing in my head. You know, humans, AI, you know, who knows about leadership in this place? Stick your hand up if you know, if you've ever read a book or watched a TED talk about leadership, and do this because I can't see if you do that, right? What do they say about leadership? They say you hire people who are different to you. If you're really good at the narrative, you find somebody who's good with numbers, otherwise you're a broke person with a good story. Yeah? So, I wanted to think about that. You know, great leaders bring in people who are different to them with skills they don't have. And that was something that sat in my head. Now, who knows who this guy is? Right? Right, hands up who's read his autobiography. This is going to be so interactive. Who's read his autobiography? No, don't do that because I can't see you. Right? Read that. That one phrase, if you went into my house, there's a whole stack of books on people like this, and that is the sentence that's highlighted and gets used in so many talks because it touched my heart, okay? Everything we design in technology, seriously, the disclaimer is also that I'm probably the least technical person in here. I struggle to switch my phone off some days, just so you know. So if it goes wrong, now you know why the shit's going wrong. And when I read that, and what I want you to do is I want you to look at that and I'm going to be quiet and we're all going to read that out in our head, okay? Now. Done? So there's a lot of things you don't know about me, which is great. Whenever we go somewhere, we meet people we don't know things about, right? Some of you know me. Hands up if you already know me. Right. You lucky people. Right. Hands up if you don't know me. Welcome to my world, fuckers. Right. So, what you lot don't know about me is in my previous life, I used to be a children's nurse. Okay? I was the girl in that uniform who would be working in IT, filling in these forms. Okay? My background is, I've worked in palliative care for kids. There is no CEO on the planet who can tell me we're having a hard day at work. Do you know why? Because I know that a hard day at work is helping somebody bury their 4-year-old kid. I have stood in a room with a mother who didn't know how to let go of her child's body because we were waiting for the funeral parlour to come and take that body. Just putting it into context for you, okay? That's where I come from. And I learned so many things. So when I was doing this talk, you know what happened? I had to really stop and think. What that room taught me and all the things I'd done, right, was that at the time, I knew that the machine was helping keep that kid alive. I knew about BiPAP and CPAP and all those things. I knew how to fill those forms in. I knew that the machine could keep the child alive. But I also knew that the machine can't do something, okay? The machine wouldn't know when it was appropriate for me as a girl to go and hug the dad because he was dying inside because he didn't know if his kid was going to make it through the night. The machine did not know when to walk up to somebody and hold their hand and say, do we need to step outside the room for a minute? And the machine did not know when you had to pick up a tissue and just sob with the mum. Or the 5-year-old brother who doesn't know what's happening and is totally confused in that space, okay? For all of you who met me here, people stop saying to me, I'm really good at networking. I'm not good at networking. Do you know what I'm good at? I'm good at being human, which is why I always feel humbled and honoured and privileged when people in the tech world let somebody who's not techie come in and talk about these things. So let's get back to the programme, okay? Artificial intelligence is just like us, but it's better at certain things, right? And Matthew was great. He lined me up brilliantly for what he was saying about interactivity with people. So, you guys tell me what artificial intelligence is good at, right? Stick your hand up and I will just say to you, yeah, you go. Because I'm better for audience participating. So one thing I will start with, it's really good at systematic things. Yeah? That's why it could learn to win at chess against Gary Kasparov, or however you say his name. Yeah? What else is AI good at? What is...
It's good at taking, say, an idea that you have and making it into something tangible, like an actual photograph.
Perfect.
You just had words in your head.
And I remember you from last year.
Yes.
What else is AI good at? See, now I don't have to go and swat up what AI is good at. I can stay in the field that I know. Yeah.
Making money.
Okay. And you can sit back down in the corner, right? Making money, right?
Gathering massive amounts of data.
Excellent. Very quickly, and what it can do is it can pass a PhD in less time than us lot could open the book. Right? Okay, what else is it good at?
It's good at failing for us.
It's good at failing. We like you. What else? Robin.
It's good at putting arguments together so that you don't have to go all over the place looking for them to support your argument. It's good at putting facts together so you don't have to.
Exactly, but unverified facts because somebody's fed those facts in. Yeah, right? I am going to pick people because I like to do that. I used to be a lecturer. You know, come on, you can't take the girl out of the university, just like you can take the girl out of the hospital. She's still going to be a nurse, right? Quinn. Yeah, you did not know I was going to do this. So, what do you think? I know we've had a lot of conversations about this, with and without bourbon, but what is artificial intelligence good at in your eyes?
Pattern recognition.
Pattern recognition, okay? Excellent. So we can accept that this is what AI is good at. So let it do what it's fucking good at, right? Now let me tell you about our superpowers. Yeah. Oh, by the way, for everybody taking notes, right? If you type in the name of this talk and my name, right, there's a paper written on this, you could just nick it, right? Everything in here is on there, right? So, our superpowers, right, we are radically creative. We create things that people don't even dream about. A machine couldn't go there, then it's not us, right? Somebody has to say, let's put a man on the moon, right? And then other people come and build the rocket. Okay? Let's not forget what we're good at, right? We have irrational levels of originality. Who was the first person who decided to put peanut butter and jelly together? Jam for the Brits in the room, right? Who decided to do that? It is one. How many of you have had a peanut butter and jam or jelly sandwich? When next time you eat that sandwich and you bite into it, right? Stop, breathe and think, God bless the person who invented this, right? We think of putting things together that people wouldn't put together. Oh, gone back. Wrong way. Illogical craziness. We come up with random crazy ideas, yeah? Somebody decided to 3D print shoes, yeah? We come up with so many amazing things. All right, I'm sick of my voice, so hands up if you've heard of something that's really illogically crazy that you think, oh God, I wish I'd invented that. Something that's crazy. So, what did you say?
The iPhone.
The iPhone, yeah. You and me, we'd be rich as fuck. right? So, there are things that people, but you know what was really powerful about the iPhone? It put a computer in our pocket, right? There was, you know, every single attention to detail, right? I love it when I do that. I talk about Apple when I come to Microsoft. Hopefully when they invite me to Apple, I talk about Microsoft all the time, and that'd be sweet, won't it? Okay, the other thing we have is adaptability. Our whole species is dependent on our adaptability. You know, it's that natural evolution, yeah? What kind of people? We adapt to things, right? My in-laws talk to me on Zoom, right? They're in their 80s. We're adaptable. We learn to use things that we didn't used to know about. And we may learn it to an extreme extent or just to the extent that gets us by. Okay? We pick those things. Ingenuity. That is our superpower. We see things. Think about it. You're all sitting in this room. You could all be somewhere else, but you're here. Somebody had to have the ingenuity to say, we need to set up a creativity conference and get these people talking about these things and get these people all connected. I'm going to go the other way now. We also connect seemingly disparate friends. We cross-pollinate. Yeah? Think of an idea that's cross-pollinated. Think of what happened when they used calligraphy to design the first fonts. And you know Mike, he's like a really humble, laid-back guy. Yeah, he invented the PDF, just so you know that. For those of you who don't know, didn't you drop what was the drop-down menu thing you did?
The font menu.
Yeah, tell them about the font menu. This is ingenuity. I have a living, breathing example.
Okay, but this is right up your alley, Billy. So way back when, right, in the prehistoric time, when the Macintosh came out, you clicked on the font menu and all the fonts were drawn in the same font. So there was no way for you to tell what it looked like until you picked it and it came out and you're like, oh, that's wrong. You picked it again, oh, that's wrong. So I thought, that's ridiculous. So I hacked the system to draw each font in its own typeface so you can see them before you picked it.
Remember, the magic is about, right, so side hustle thing, okay? How many of you heard that phrase, it's not what you know, it's who you know? Yeah. How many of you know there's a third sentence to that? No. If nothing else, I've taught you something. It's not what you know, it's who you know and what you know about them. Okay? If I did not know that bit of information, I couldn't have made it part of my talk, which makes me look way smarter than I am, right? Without designing jack shit, right? We also handle novel situations. What we do is when something happens, we don't go through an algorithm that somebody's drummed into ChatGPT, no offence to everybody who's working in that field, right? Mate, somebody's got to pay my bills. But the fact is, we draw on experiences. I draw on things. I've had conversations with people where I'm drawing on being the fact that I grew up in an Indian household. I had a really interesting conversation with that gentleman over there about being Turkish and having lived with a Turkish housemate. We make these cross-pollinations and we connect things and we handle novel situations because our novelty is part of our creativity and what we put together. But one of our biggest skills is our ethical capacity, okay? Our ability to... My son said something to me that was beautiful the other day, because you might say it talk a lot of shit, Mum, right? He goes, but you know what you do? You always do the right thing. When you've made a mistake, you will say, I made that mistake. Yeah? You will say, I handled that, I didn't handle that well, I'm going to do this. Even if it means I'm baking somebody a cake, because who watches the Great British Bake Off? Right, I could give those pictures a run for their money, right? So, sometimes a way of my apologising is I baked a cake and I'm sorry I was out of order when I did that, yeah? Our ethical capacity to know right and wrong, and maybe not, and everybody's right and everybody's wrong. And we all have a different lens, but that's a philosophical debate about the 4 agreements and the 5th agreement, and that's a whole different ballgame. But what we do is we draw on these things, and we draw on those things that touch our heart. But I think our most amazing thing that a machine can't do yet is it can't care. I care about the words that come out of my mouth. I care about how you guys feel. Anybody who knows me knows I don't really care about money. Probably would explain a lot of things. It's not that I don't care about it. I care about having an impact. I don't care if none of you remember who I am. I don't care if you never sign up for anything to come walk through those doors again. But do you know what I care about? I care about that when you walk out of this room, I had some impact on your heart, even if you never remembered my name again. And I think that is our biggest superpower, okay? So, think of the then again, right? Think of AI, think of what's going to happen. I actually think that we are like, you need Captain Kirk for Spock. Yeah? You need him to take, it just felt right. That's why I did it that way. Yeah? You need the Sherlock to Holmes, you need Maverick to Goose. I mean, obviously, you can tell I'm a Maverick fan. Yeah. Okay? You need the Maverick to Goose, right? You may not want him on your team because he breaks the rules, but if your fighter jet was going down, you'd want to be him come and save your ass. Agreed? And he works on his heart and his intuition. So, the end of this talk was kind of about, just because we've invented driverless cars, people, let's not give up being in the driving seat, okay? Because once upon a time we used to think about, if you think about the Roman times, they used to talk to the gods, yeah? The gods would come down to us. Now we have to work in partnership with AI, okay? And that was the end of the first talk, okay? And I'm way over time, but it doesn't matter. Right, so 10 minutes left, okay? So that was the talk I gave, and that's where it ended. And then I was thinking about this conference, thinking, what do I want to talk about now? And I thought, holy shit, we're in a whole new ball game now, people. Right? Yeah. So in 2018, I fly to Japan. Okay? Remember I told you, machines can't do care, machines can't do certain things, okay? I am walking through Japan, and there's the Sony store. And I walk in, and they've got this dog, Sibo? Okay. And you know what happened? That happened. And where's Charlie Mark? Where's he gone? Okay, I'll find him in a minute. Is he hiding? Okay, I'll bring him back in, because Charlie Mark's my partner. Charlie! Somebody call him quick. He's part of my talk and he's disappeared, right? Sorry? Okay, but he's in a meeting. Okay, so you guys are going to hear this, and then afterwards I want you to all go up to Charlie, right? He was in an electric turquoise blue top, right, and just shake his hand. But he needs a sainthood because he lives with me. That's all you need to know. This happened, and the only other human being I look into his eyes like that is Charlie. Okay? I'm in this room, and there's this dog, and there's me talking about, no, you can't make machines feel anything, and I want to take the dog home. I'm in love with the dog. Oh my God, what happened? And I want to show you something. Don't go away. I left my prop at the back. So for those of you who don't know me, I like to draw shit. And Mike said to me, are you going to draw? I went, no. So this is my trip to Japan, okay? And this is what I say. I keep all my travel journals. Yeah, it says, from there I explore the Sony store. It's fascinating with its new designs. However, the laptops and Shuffle just look as if they're trying to mimic Apple. They have a robot dog, Abo. Interesting, as it makes me feel like you want to take it home with you. Interesting, as I wonder if robots could replace people and the things we love. And that was the thing that took me to the next level, where I'm like, oh, I'm not supposed to feel like this. So Maxim said this whole premise of the Creativity Conference is about joy and how that impacts you. One of my greatest joys is when I used to think this, something happens, and then I think this. And I'm like, fuck, but I used to be over here. And now I'm over here. And now where am I going to go? So that's what that dog did for me, okay? We can't love inanimate objects. Yes, we can. Now, fast track to this bit of the talk in the last 8 minutes because I overran as usual. So, look what's happening with you guys all know what's happening in the AI world. So I'm not going to stand here and tell you guys what you know better than me, okay? But I'm going to tell you a couple of things that came into my radar recently. A company called Space 10 worked with IKEA, and they used ChatGPT, and they used these questions and these AI algorithms, and they designed beer.
Artificial intelligence picked a hazy IPA for us to brew and came up with a pretty awesome recipe that we followed. We asked ChatGPT to come up with some creative names for the beer, and it did, but they were a little boring. So we challenged it to come up with more self-aware names that reference the fact that the beer was made by artificial intelligence. That's when it spit out AIPA, which is so good but a little terrifying. We asked it to give us some suggestions for the label design, and it spit out some pretty good names. Colorful, robotic, futuristic, oil painting. We plugged those words into a different AI software called Midjourney that converts text to images. Our final label is 99% designed by artificial intelligence. It's totally wild. We're releasing AIPA next week. Unless the robots say otherwise.
I was having this really interesting conversation with my son who likes beer. His name is Elliot Kell. And he turned around and he went, you know what, I love it when AI is doing things that enhances our life. Like, if they're going to make better beer for me to drink, that's enhancing my quality of life, right? So that's what got me thinking, okay, there's a magic in this. Machines don't have a heart. I spoke to Mike a few weeks ago. We have a regular Sunday morning chat. And I said to him, you know, this is what I'm doing. And he says, you know the thing about machines? They don't have a soul. Now you know why I love him. Now you know why I love this guy.
I know.
So he said, machines don't have a soul, okay? So my question is, get it back here. All right, photo up, everybody. Future relationships. What's going to be this relationship between human and technology, right? What is going to be that relationship? What is the relationship we're choosing to have now? Yeah? What direction are we going to go in? The World Economic Forum said in 2024, right, the 10 skills that human beings are going to need, creativity is going to be one of the top. Okay, I was like, yes, I'm fixed, right? Now they're saying it's going to be prompt engineering. I'm fucked, right? It's a quick change, right? What responsibility are we taking for what we create? Yeah? And how it's going to impact. Did we know when we created social media that we would have kids, teenagers, being bullied? Feeling like they have to look like stick insects? And you know, what did we stop to pause to think about what we were creating? Evolution. Machines are evolving all the time. Moore's law. Yeah? Machines are evolving all the time. My $1 million question to you guys is, what the fuck are we doing as human beings to evolve? What are we doing to make sure we maintain our superpower? Yeah? Because we're not going to be... Machines are great at being machines. That's why they're so good. What are we going to do about being great at being human? Right? I think that's... Because otherwise, no disrespect to anybody in the room, if we can't learn to be the best human beings we're going to be and keep evolving, then I'm sorry that the machines deserve to get the singularity because they put the work in. They evolved, they changed. And I'm wondering what I'll be practicing and preaching or talking about if I was doing, don't worry about AI, we have superpowers, they don't yet. What will I be saying in 5 years' time? And I want to leave you with this. Who knows Viktor Frankl? Good friend of ours. Yes. So, I want you all to read this out with me, okay? Everything loudly, as if the universe is depending on this, right? Don't be one of those, okay, I'm going to sing. Sing as if God Almighty is going to hear you in church, okay? Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. And if anybody wants to know why that quote's powerful, it's the first thing that walks into my house and gets stuck on a wall. I've moved into my house on Sunday. This Sunday just gone. That is already beside my desk. Okay? And I think that's the power of our magic now. Our humanness is our gift. It's our superpower. And now you're all going to do audience participation that you had no idea about. Aidan, get your camera out. Every human being that walked into this building and got a hug by me, I want you to step up here right now. Phoebe, I see you. Julie, I see you. Maddie, I see you. Colin, I see you. Turkish guy whose name I've forgotten but gave me a name of a good book. Ramphus, I see you. Right, now come in, because this is like a group hug. We don't need widescreen people.
Are we getting on the...
I don't care where you go, right? This, okay? This is that infinite loop, that spiral, okay? This is this. This is infinity, right? This is the infinite loop that ties us all together, okay? This, my friends, is creativity. Mic drop, I'm done. And now everybody, come this way. One group hug. Yes, we are. Everybody. Everybody. Right? We're here. You all stay. Don't move an inch. Now everybody. Everybody. This is creativity. Okay? And you know, I'm not doing it. You're doing it. And for people who don't like a hug, stay behind and take the photos. Everybody else, get yourself up here.
Yara, get over here.
Yeah.
Jocelyn, get over here, Jocelyn.
And I will see you if you don't come. Okay. Right, is this what you wanted, mate?
Sorry.
Is this what you wanted? Okay. Right. And for those of you who didn't get a personal hug, touch me on the shoulder afterwards. There's enough love in this planet and this heart to go to all of you. Right, now take that photo. And everybody yell out, creativity! Creativity! Right, I'm done. Everybody go.